What I have right here is the all-new 2023 Nissan Z. And in this video, we're showing you all the amazing features this car has to offer. So if you're in the market for one of these, perusing, just want to find out more about this car, here's the complete video. So first of all, let's talk about the new redesign. So this grille is massive, as you can see right here. And previously it used to be just black, but now there actually is like silver trimming right here because a lot of people were making fun of it when it was first unveiled during the debut of the official prototype, saying that it looks like a Domo, but now it actually has some cool flair. When we actually take a look at the side actually looks unique. Very retro, a massive throwback to the first generation, as is mixed with a bunch of impressive previous generation Z models. The taillights, for example, resemble something from the 300ZX back from the 1990s. The hood follows a same design just like the 240Z did. The roofing is a two-tone color. But just stepping back, every corner of this car has a unique design, which turns a lot of heads. It's a gorgeous looking coupe. But back here, what I do want to cover is the massive fuel cap. It's pretty big, and it also takes premium unleaded fuel only. So that's something you definitely have to be aware of. Don't worry, we'll get into the features in just a little bit. Just want to go over some of the stuff I noticed after driving it. The Nissan logo back here, press here. This is how you have access to your hatch. Just like some Corvettes, you do have a lot of space back here, but not crazy like amount of space, if you know what I'm saying. You could probably fit like one briefcase back here, but the stretch bar is right here. It's just like the previous generation 370Z. And a cool little Easter egg can be found right here in the rear glass, where it says since 1969 from the first generation Z. Now, when it comes to performance, 4-piston brake calipers are standard on the front, 2 wheels, and in the rear, you have 2 piston calipers, painted red as well. It is only rear-wheel drive is the only option for this car. Now let's talk about the power. But in here, you do have a 3.0 liter V6, 400 horsepower, and 350 pound-feet of torque. And you just witnessed me do, it does still use an old school style hood latch, which honestly, I'm not really complaining. But again, continuing with the stretch bars, here it is. It's massive, it's big, and it gets the job done. And if you like to hear the idle exhaust note, it's basically this. From my understanding, the naturally aspirated 370Z sounds slightly better from what everybody's been saying. While you're accelerating, it does sound pretty good too, but aftermarket exhaust does seem like will be something that will be on most people's agenda. Now inside the Z, this is the one that's equipped with a 9-speed automatic. There is a 6-speed manual option as well. But the beauty about these cars is that it's one of the few vehicles that still use a traditional e-brake, which is nice. Paddle shifters are standard for the automatic, and this does have launch control. And if you have the 6-speed manual, you will have rev matching capabilities as well. There are pod gauges located right here, which one of them uniquely actually will display the turbo speed instead of traditionally like we're used to seeing is just a boost, and that's about it. Oil temperature will be the 3rd gauge, but this one has turbo speed as well as voltage, but you can find all the other important information on the digital instrument cluster right here. Now the shift knob, this is basically how the shifter looks like for the automatic. Really easy to operate, nothing really out of the ordinary. However, this is one of the few cars that actually does not allow you to drive with your door open. So if I open up the door and I put it in drive, and as soon as I release my foot off the brake, it forces itself into park. So the way to bypass this is if you put it in drive, and you have to constantly keep your foot on the brake. That's the only way you can bypass the vehicle from putting itself into park. Not sure exactly why it does this, but I guess it's like a safety feature for Nissan. Now there is a D mode, which all it gives you is access to sport mode. And that's basically it. And this does have launch control too. And to activate launch control, it's difficult to do single-handed, but here we go. To launch it, make sure the vehicle is in sport mode, and then hold down the right and left paddle shifter while you have your left foot on the brake, and then just power onto the gas, and then just release the brake, and you should be taken off. Now you do have your traction control button right here, which you do have to hold to disable it. And to disable ABS, it's actually located in the brake pedal from my understanding. I'm not going to show that because this is not really my vehicle. It's just loaned to me by Nissan. But the media control is your standard Nissan one. Nothing out of the ordinary. I already covered this previously in the other video, which I have right there in case you're curious. But this is basically standard on Nissan. There's no like ambient lighting controls or anything like that. It's really just wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and that's basically it. Side here, you do have a glove box, which is good. Controls are located right here. A thing I have to warn you about is the unlock button at night does not illuminate, and a massive con. Vehicle looks claustrophobic. It actually is pretty small. There's a good amount of headspace, but I got like 4 inches or 5 inches at most to really play with, so tall folks definitely have a hard time fitting in here. And I'm 5'8", and then these seats are indeed heated but no ventilation, but the interior in this car doesn't look bad. Looks really modern. Charging, USB-C as well as USB-A is located here. A unique thing about this car is this weird feature right here, which allows you to use one cup holder if it's just you in the vehicle, but if you have somebody else in the car with you, this actually slides down and unveils another cup holder, and you push this button to have access to this little storage drawer right here, which is pretty small because the transmission runs down here, but you do have a 12-volt outlet right here. But there is a unique 12-volt outlet located right underneath the glove box, which allows you to run a radar detector on the side and mount it on your windshield. So that was something unique that I found out about this car that Nissan added. Home link is located on your side, your rear view mirror right here on the inside of your car. And your other controls are very standard vehicle stuff, including this, which I think it's pretty unique for a car that does not have back seats. But you do have storage compartments back here in case you need to put something down behind here, like a briefcase or something smaller like a backpack. Now the instrument cluster does have 3 themes, and here you can see the average MPG I've been getting, and the very right lower corner is your kilometers, which does work. But when we change this to sport mode, this is a theme for sport mode. Notice there's a shift indicator on the very top. And then if we go ahead and explore the other ones that we have here, like enhanced, previously you were looking at normal, this is how the enhanced version looked like. Now in terms of vehicle settings, not really a whole lot aside from the themes you could change in the vehicle dash. But I do want to talk about is the features that the key fob has. Unfortunately, it does not feature a remote start even for an automatic, but it does have 2 unique features aside from its being extremely small. Because if we actually hold down the unlock button, the windows will actually roll down. Unfortunately, you do have to go inside to roll them back up. And if you hold down the lock button as well as the unlock button at the same time, okay, so the hazard lights flash, indicating that whenever we lock the car, it's not going to beep at us. But if you want the car to give you that beeping feedback, just hold down the lock and unlock button one more time and just look at your headlights. There we go, now a beep. So now whenever I press the lock button, it will give me a sound feedback when the vehicle is unlocked or locked. I personally don't like it beeping at me. I like light feedback. And those are the cool features that the Nissan Z has to offer, and some things to keep in mind in case you're shopping around for one of these. So you know right away what this car can do, aside from the performance side of things, which if I have to give you a brief summary, this thing handles really well. Just definitely needs a tune. 400 horsepower, 0-60 is 4 seconds for the automatic and 4.3. For the manual, I feel like it could be quicker. So I would personally tune this, but not a bad car. Compared to other vehicles with this price tag, not saying that this is a terrible car, but this needs a tune to keep up with other vehicles around this price range. Anyways, there you guys have it. Those are my thoughts and some cool features that this car has to offer. If you enjoy, leave a like, subscribe for more. If you want to check out another vehicle that's equivalent to this one, check it out right over there. Thank you so much for watching.